Hi there folks, welcome to Dunsey's Guitar World. Welcome to another new guitar day, one of the greatest days of an old guitarist's life. So last week I sold a guitar and last week I used the proceeds to buy a guitar. You're asking what guitar did you buy this time? The guitar I bought was a Squier J Mascis Jazzmaster. The master of jazz.
I totally possessed my dad. Okay.
That's me. So all I'm going to do here is, the one thing you should never do on YouTube, I'm going to answer all your questions within the first minute and a half. So you're wondering, is this as good a guitar as all the reviews are saying? Yes. Does this guitar sound great? It sounds great. Does this guitar play great? It plays great. There's all your questions answered. But please do stick around, I've got a lot of stuff in this video. We're going to have the sounds of this guitar, I've got all the specs, I took it to bits, did all the measurements just in case you're thinking of buying one of these, and I've got a special guest. My friend Ben is helping me out, telling you how good the Squier J Mascis Jazzmaster is. So my history with the Jazzmaster. I have no particular history with the Jazzmaster, Squier or Fender. These were guitars that were never on my radar when I first started playing. You know, in the early 80s when I started, I would open Kerrang every week and there was Scott Gorham, Brian Robertson, Randy Rhodes, Kelly Johnson. They were all playing Gibsons. So Jazzmasters were never on my radar. Until about 1989, I got in a band with a couple of guys who had been in a band called the Catteran. Scottish indie punk, sort of hardcore type of tuneful noise. Very good band. And they said, you know, you should listen to stuff other than heavy metal. And I did, and they gave me a loan of this album, Bug, Dinosaur Jr. Freak Scene. I was like, how good is that? How have I missed out on all this? You know, I've been too busy listening to things like Motley Crue. I still love Motley Crue. Anyway, so Freak Scene. And then I started buying things like the NME, Melody Maker, and J Mascis was using a Jazzmaster. And I thought, that's an incredible sound from a guitar, which I'd never associated with that kind of thing. You know, to me it was always like 60s surf music. So yes, Dinosaur Jr. And I was like, man, that's good. I'm interested in this, I like that sound. And then for me, Jazzmaster Ground Zero was, we did a gig with Squier Driver, did 2 gigs with Squier Driver in 1991. And I've talked about this in another video, which will probably be up there somewhere. And Adam was playing a Jazzmaster, an old 60s Jazzmaster, and it was just an incredible sound. What a sound. I always thought Jazzmasters sounded great in other people's hands, possibly not in mine, so I still never bought one. I was still a Gibson guy. In fact, here's my friend Ben. He'll tell you a bit about his Jazzmaster and how he is also a Gibson guy as well.
Hi Dunsey, thanks for asking me on to talk about a bit of an obsession of mine actually, which is the Squier J Mascis Jazzmaster. I first got interested in these about 4 years ago. I kept reading about them, people were raving about them, particularly the neck, which is lives up to its reputation, certainly. I've thought since getting mine that this is this is an £800 guitar going for about, as it was at the time, about 350 quid second hand. I've just had a look on Reverb and they're now going for somewhere in the region of 500 quid to £650, probably because they've been discontinued now. I think there was a bit of a change made at some point during the production run, and it's the earlier models which kind of really stirred up all the excitement. So I think people should bear that in mind if they fancy looking for one themselves. I've kept mine all stock. I love everything about it. The neck, as I say, is absolutely amazing. These pickups, which there's a bit of an argument, a lot of people refer to these as P90s. I think what they are actually though is Jazzmaster pickups, but which have been overwound to J Mascis specs, so they're a bit more powerful than the usual Jazzmaster pickups, but I'm not sure if they actually kind of qualify as P90s. A lot of people swap out the Gibson style bridge for a Mastery or something similar, and some people also replace the trem section as well. But as I say, I've kept mine stock. I just love it as it came out of the gig bag really. Yeah, I would thoroughly recommend it. I'm normally a Gibson guy, same as yourself.
We don't get the time now. We don't get the time now. We don't get the time now. It doesn't mean you gotta be beyond.
And I love my humbuckers. I normally play an SG, that's my go-to. I've got an Explorer, I've got a Firebird with the mini humbuckers on it as well. I'm really enjoying playing that as well. And I played a nice, very heavy early 90s Les Paul for a long time, but I sold that recently. But I would thoroughly recommend one of these to anybody who asks. It's an absolute bargain, even if you end up paying 650 quid for it. I think that's actually what the guitar's worth. So yeah, I'll give you a few chops. I love the clean sound on these, and obviously when you start cranking it up, you get a fantastic response from these pickups as well. They're really hot.
A massive thank you to Ben Hardin for taking the time to do that. I mean, I'm sure he has better things to do with his time than help me out with the video. So yeah, thanks Ben, much appreciated. So let's look at all the specs, look at all the measurements, the neck profile of the Squier J Mascis Jazzmaster. And all the reviews I've seen, everybody says how comfortable the neck is. As you just heard, Ben says exactly the same thing as well. So yes, a very comfortable neck, as all the reviews have said. It is a great playing neck. So it would be remiss of me not to let you hear some sounds of this guitar. I will pop through to the other room and plug it in, and we'll have a quick listen, see what we think. Let's try some super clean, pristine sounds through a rolling jazz chorus. Middle. Neck. Very nice. For some My Bloody Valentine sort of thing, without the incredible layers of distortion and delay and the like. Certainly seems to stay in tune. I mean, you're not doing any Eddie Van Halen style dive bombing, but it's nice. Turn up the gain a little. It's a Marshall in a crunch setting. There you go. Middle position. Neck pickup. An overdriven Fender Champ. So yes, so what I did was yesterday, I took the Jazzmaster to a rehearsal room and I recorded some music with it. I just took a backing track that I had composed. Initially just had one drum beat, a few guitar riffs, and I had open tuned the guitar to, I guess, a Sonic Youth tuning. Now I have to say, when I did that, tuning all the F sharps and stuff, very sort of Sonic Youth, in fact I think it is a Sonic Youth tuning, and just the inspiration, when I went to the rehearsal room and I plugged this in, you know, I had a lot of pedals and stuff like that, and a tuning that I'm not used to, and a sound that I don't normally use, it was a complete inspiration compared to my other guitars. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy to turn up and play a Les Paul through a Marshall any day of the week. Happy to do that, but taking this with me, it was just completely different, and yeah, completely inspired by it. Brilliant. So if you are thinking of getting one of these, and as Ben said in his part of the video, these have been discontinued. I believe this is the second iteration of them. I think it has a Laurel, Indian Laurel fingerboard rather than the rosewood one. But yeah, they're going up in price, I have to say. Maybe they'll reissue them again. My friend Johnny is going to give me a loan of his proper Fender one, so it'll be interesting to AB the Fender and the Squier J Mascis Jazzmasters. We'll see how that goes. As ever folks, it's a privilege and a pleasure bringing you content on Dunsi's Guitar World. Cheers for now.